Planet Earth, our home, is nothing short of extraordinary. From towering mountains to hidden underwater worlds, it's a place full of mystery, wonder, and the downright unbelievable. Every corner of this planet holds something unique, something that reminds us just how wild and magical this world really is. I'm Terra Incognita, and in today's video, we're venturing into 5 of the most unreal places on Earth. Places you probably never heard of, but will absolutely want to see. Whether it's a city built beneath the rock or an island where nature rewrites the rules, get ready to explore the strange, the beautiful, and the unforgettable. Let's dive in. Number 5. Marble Caves in Chile. Tucked away in the remote reaches of Patagonia, in the southern tip of Chile, lies one of the most surreal natural wonders on Earth. The Marble Caves, also known as Cuevas de Marmol. This breathtaking geological formation is located on the General Carrera Lake, a vast glacial lake that stretches across the Chilean-Argentine border. And what makes this place so unforgettable, so completely otherworldly, is not just its raw natural beauty, but how it looks like it was sculpted by an artist. Yet it was shaped entirely by nature. Imagine a labyrinth of swirling, polished marble, icy blue, pearl white, and turquoise walls, reflecting the shimmering waters below like a dream. These caves weren't carved by human hands. They were sculpted over more than 6,000 years by the gentle, persistent movement of lake water eroding solid calcium carbonate rock. Over millennia, water wore away the stone to create flowing shapes, arches, and tunnels that look like the inside of a frozen wave. What's truly mesmerizing is how the caves change color throughout the year, because the hues you see inside are actually influenced by the water levels of the lake, the time of day, and even the season. In spring and summer, when glacial meltwater fills the lake, the water turns a brilliant turquoise, casting glowing blue light across the marble walls. In winter, when the water drops, the caves look completely different, more exposed, starker, with a colder, grayish hue. It's as if you're seeing a new place every time you visit. One of the most famous sections is called the Marble Cathedral, a grand, arching chamber that rises dramatically above the water like a sacred temple. The way the marble reflects the light and ripples of the lake makes it feel like you're standing inside a living sculpture. But perhaps what makes the marble caves even more incredible is how hard they are to reach. There's no road that takes you directly to them. To even get there, you'll need to travel to the tiny town of Puerto Rio Tranquilo, located deep in the Chilean Patagonia region. From there, it's a 30 to 45-minute boat ride across General Carrera Lake, often through chilly, misty winds to reach the caves themselves. In other words, this is not a tourist trap. This is a truly remote, untouched destination, and the journey only adds to the magic. Number 4. Zhangye Dangxia in Gansu, China. Imagine standing in front of a mountain range that looks like it's been dipped in rainbow paint. Bold reds, fiery oranges, golden yellows, deep purples, and every shade in between. It sounds like a digital fantasy, maybe something out of a dream or a movie. But this place is real. Welcome to Zhangye Dangxia, located in Gansu province in northwestern China. One of the most visually stunning landscapes anywhere on Earth. The Zhangye Dangxia landform, often called the Rainbow Mountains, is like no other place you've ever seen. Stretching across over 300 square kilometers, this geological wonder looks like someone took an enormous paintbrush and splashed vibrant streaks across the hills. But this isn't art. It's nature's masterpiece, formed over millions of years. So what causes this surreal landscape? It all started over 24 million years ago. Layers of red sandstone and mineral-rich rock were deposited by wind and water, one thin sheet at a time. Over the eons, tectonic plate movement, the same forces that form the Himalayas, lifted and folded these layers, creating ridges, valleys, and jagged peaks. Then, rain, wind, and erosion began slowly sculpting the surface, wearing it into unusual shapes and patterns. What you see today is the result of both time and pressure, an exposed cross-section of the Earth's ancient skin, painted in Technicolor. Each stripe of color represents a different mineral composition. Iron oxide gives the land its rich reds, chlorite adds greens, and sandstone and siltstone lend it yellows, oranges, and whites. And because of the way light hits the terrain during different times of day, the entire landscape seems to shift colors, almost like it's alive. Sunrise and sunset are especially magical. The low golden light makes the ridges glow, turning the mountains into molten waves of color. The Zhangye Dongxia region is so geologically rare and visually spectacular that it's been declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is often ranked among the top natural wonders of China. It's also been featured in countless travel documentaries and viral drone videos. But even with all the attention, nothing compares to standing there in person, watching the light dance across the hills like a living canvas. And the best part? The area is well protected and accessible, but not overrun with tourists. There are multiple viewing platforms and walking trails within the Zhangye Dongxia National Geological Park, allowing visitors to explore different angles and take in panoramic views without damaging the fragile environment. Number 3. Mount Erebus, Antarctica. Hidden in the frozen heart of Antarctica, where temperatures plummet and life struggles to exist, there rises something completely unexpected, a mountain that breathes fire. This is Mount Erebus, the southernmost active volcano on Earth and one of the most extreme and fascinating places on the planet. Located on Ross Island, just off the coast of the continent, Mount Erebus towers over the icy landscape at 3,794 meters, or about 12,448 feet. It's not just a mountain, it's a living, breathing geological beast. Beneath its snow-covered slopes lies a lava lake that has been continuously active for decades, possibly over a century, making it one of the very few persistent lava lakes on Earth. Think about that. A glowing, molten lake of lava, not in Hawaii or Iceland, but surrounded by glaciers and endless sheets of ice. That's the bizarre contrast of Mount Erebus, fire and ice, in the most remote part of the world. Discovered in 1841 by British explorer Sir James Clark Ross, the volcano was named after his ship, HMS Erebus, itself named after the Greek god of darkness. The name feels appropriate because Erebus is both awe-inspiring and eerie, a towering force of nature in one of Earth's harshest environments. What makes Erebus so unique isn't just its location or constant activity, it's also a scientific gold mine. The gases it releases, like carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide, offer clues about Earth's inner workings. Researchers brave sub-zero temperatures and extreme isolation just to study it, often staying in nearby science bases like McMurdo Station, operated by the United States. But it's not just scientists who are fascinated. Erebus is full of weird and wonderful features like ice fumaroles, chimney-like ice towers that form when steam escapes and freezes instantly in the cold air. Some are tall enough to walk through, creating surreal icy cathedrals above volcanic vents. And despite the unforgiving conditions, life finds a way here. Microbial life has been discovered in the volcanic soils and vents, surviving on minerals and heat alone. These extremophiles could even hold clues to life on other planets like Mars or the icy moons of Jupiter. Of course, Mount Erebus has its dark side too. In 1979, tragedy struck when an Air New Zealand sightseeing flight crashed into its slopes in whiteout conditions, killing all 257 people on board. It remains one of the deadliest air disasters in history and a haunting reminder of how unpredictable this environment can be. Today, Mount Erebus continues to erupt quietly, its lava bubbling beneath the surface while icy winds howl above. It doesn't make headlines often, it's too remote, too quiet. But for those who know about it, it stands as one of the most mysterious, extreme, and utterly unique natural wonders on Earth. Number 4. Socotra Island, Yemen.
If there's any place on Earth that feels like it belongs to another planet, it's Socotra Island. A remote, otherworldly jewel off the coast of Yemen in the Arabian Sea. Often called the most alien-looking place on Earth, Socotra is a land of bizarre beauty, surreal landscapes, and rare life forms that exist nowhere else on the planet. One of the first things you'll notice is the dragon's blood tree, Socotra's iconic symbol. These strange umbrella-shaped trees look like something straight out of a science fiction movie. When cut, they bleed a thick red sap, hence the name dragon's blood, a resin once used in ancient medicine, dyes, and even alchemy. But that's just the beginning. Nearly 40% of Socotra's plant life is found nowhere else in the world. We're talking about succulent trees that grow sideways, desert roses that bloom like twisted sculptures, and even rare birds and reptiles that evolved in total isolation. It's a biodiversity hotspot like the Galapagos Islands, only far less known and much harder to reach. The island's isolation is part of its magic. It broke off from the African mainland more than 20 million years ago, which gave evolution the time and freedom to shape its life in completely unique ways. The result? An ecosystem that feels prehistoric, untouched and almost magical. The beaches are equally stunning, wide, white, and often completely empty, bordered by towering limestone cliffs and turquoise waters. Caves, sand dunes, and freshwater springs add to the island's dramatic terrain, making it a paradise for explorers, biologists, and adventure seekers alike. Despite its uniqueness, Socotra is also fragile. Climate change, overgrazing, and political instability in the region have threatened its delicate balance, but efforts are underway to preserve it. It's already been recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and international conservationists are working with local communities to protect its rare flora and fauna. In short, Socotra Island is one of the last truly wild and mysterious places on Earth, a natural museum of evolution, frozen in time. It's not just cool and unique, it's singular, a living reminder that there are still parts of the world that remain untouched, unknown, and entirely unrepeatable.
Number 5. Danakil Depression, Ethiopia. Imagine a place so extreme, so alien, that scientists compare it to conditions on other planets. Welcome to the Danakil Depression in northeastern Ethiopia, one of the hottest, driest, and most geologically active places on Earth. Often nicknamed the gateway to hell, this surreal landscape looks like it belongs on another world entirely. Here, temperatures regularly soar above 50 degrees Celsius. Rainfall is almost non-existent, and the air is thick with volcanic gases and salt. But it's not just the heat that makes Danakil so unique. It's the visuals. The land is bursting with neon colors, boiling acid pools, steaming geysers, and bizarre salt formations that stretch as far as the eye can see. At the heart of this chaos is the Dalal hydrothermal field, where yellow, green, and red mineral deposits create a psychedelic landscape unlike anything else on Earth. The Danakil Depression sits at the meeting point of 3 tectonic plates, the African, Arabian, and Somali plates, which are slowly pulling apart. This geological tension has created active volcanoes, including the famous Erta Ale, one of the few volcanoes on Earth with a persistent lava lake, glowing day and night in the vast emptiness of the desert. Despite the harshness, life finds a way. Indigenous Afar people have lived here for centuries, enduring the brutal heat while harvesting salt from the earth. You can still see long camel caravans crossing the desert, carrying giant slabs of salt, sometimes called white gold, just as they have for generations. What's even more fascinating? Scientists from NASA and the European Space Agency study the Danakil Depression because its extreme environment could hold clues to life on Mars or other planets. The high acidity, toxic gases, and salt-heavy soils mimic conditions that are thought to exist on alien worlds, yet microbial life has still been found here, resilient and mysterious. In short, the Danakil Depression is more than just a hot spot. It's a living laboratory, a window into Earth's early formation, and possibly the key to understanding how life might exist elsewhere in the universe. It's not an easy place to visit, it's remote, intense, and unforgiving, but for those who make the journey, it's like stepping onto another planet. The Danakil Depression is one of the most otherworldly, dangerous, and scientifically valuable places on Earth. And that wraps up our journey to some of the most mind-blowing places on Earth. Which one was your favorite? Was it the alien landscapes of Socotra, the fire and ice of Mount Erebus, or maybe the surreal colors of Zhangye Danjie? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what amazed you the most. If you enjoyed exploring with me, don't forget to leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next adventure. And hey, share this video with a friend who loves discovering the world's hidden wonders. Until next time, I'm Terrain Cognita. Stay curious, stay adventurous.